I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Thursday, October 23rd. Today.
Really begs the question of why was a nurse sitting with this patient?
Another scary and violent incident at a Winnipeg hospital. Also today, a desperate search.
And right now, me and my family are broken.
A northern Manitoba family pleads for help as it looks for a man missing since May. Plus, animal instincts.
Already this year, we've seen one person lose their life because of a collision with wildlife.
Why drivers need to be extra cautious when out on the roads at this time of year. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Another violent incident at Manitoba's largest hospital. Officials confirm a nurse and a unit assistant were both assaulted Sunday in the emergency department at Health Sciences Centre. Joining me now live is CTV's Taylor Brock. So Taylor, what happened here?
Well, details on what exactly happened are scarce, Marilee. However, we do know the person being accused of the assault was a patient. This despite new hospital safety measures being announced just last month. Shared Health says a patient receiving mental health care in the adult ER assaulted both a nurse and a unit assistant. Officials with the health agency say neither staff member sustained serious physical injuries, and they're ensuring both have access to support. Shared Health also says all appropriate safety protocols were followed. However, the Manitoba Nurses Union is questioning why these staff members were there in the first place.
Why is a nurse been a sitter to a patient? That's why we have security guards, why we have ISOs, and that's why we actually have a classification called qualified persons, and those are individuals who are able to take over care of a psychiatric patient and look after them.
In August, Manitoba nurses grey-listed the Health Sciences Centre, meaning they believe HSC is an unsafe working environment. Doctors Manitoba echoed the union's concerns shortly afterward, with data showing almost half of all physical safety incidents among physicians last year took place at HSC.
So Taylor, have police laid any charges in connection to this incident?
Well, we asked the Winnipeg Police Service if it was investigating. In an emailed statement, the service tells us, quote, "We have been made aware of an incident and are working to obtain the totality of the circumstances that occurred."
Taylor, didn't the province announce new safety measures for HSC, including dedicated police officers? Where is that at?
Yeah, that's right, Marilee. In September, the Manitoba government announced it's adding 2 uniformed Winnipeg Police Service officers on site 24/7 and 5 new weapon detection scanners at main public entrances. We contacted Shared Health today asking for an update on these measures. We're still waiting for a response.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. An early morning fire at a downtown restaurant snarled traffic on Main Street. Video shared with CTV News shows smoke and flames pouring out of Bougie restaurant at the corner of Main Street and York Avenue. The city says the call came in around 5:45 and crews had the fire under control within an hour. Northbound Main Street was down to 1 lane for some time. Bougie restaurant owner Kanish Sood declined to be interviewed, saying he's in shock and waiting on the police investigation. Police had little else to add, just telling CTV News the cause is under investigation. A 41-year-old man is in custody charged with second-degree murder after a homicide in northern Manitoba. RCMP responded to a stabbing at a home on Norway House Cree Nation Tuesday morning. They found a 38-year-old injured man who was pronounced dead at the scene. RCMP say investigators recovered what they believe is the murder weapon at a nearby residence. A 41-year-old man was arrested. RCMP Major Crime Services and Forensic Identification Services continue to investigate. A family from northern Manitoba is asking anyone with information to come forward after their son went missing in the spring.
Right now, me and my family are broken. We need to bring him home for our own peace of mind.
24-year-old Troy Saltier was last seen May 11th, leaving a home in Thompson. RCMP confirmed there is an active investigation into his disappearance and also noted Saltier has several outstanding warrants for assault, break and enter, and failure to comply. His family acknowledged he is wanted, but doesn't believe he's running from the law. Instead, they fear something nefarious has happened.
He has charges, assault charges, but it's not like him to be disappearing on us like that for so long. I would just like him to be back with us. We want answers where he is. He's out there alone. Nobody there with him.
Saltier is described as 5 feet 3 inches tall, 110 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. Prime Minister Mark Carney's government has introduced new legislation for tougher bail and sentencing rules. Justice Minister Sean Fraser says it would make bail more difficult to get for violent and organized crime offenses.
It's bad enough that people feel the need to get cameras on their doorsteps, but in some instances they're literally watching them, seeing people break into their homes and steal cars from their driveways. We can't accept this, not in Canada. Today we are changing the law with a stronger focus on public safety.
Fraser said the legislation is part of a broader, comprehensive plan to improve safety across Canada. It includes reverse onus for certain offenses, mandatory weapons bans for others, and would also allow for consecutive sentences for repeat offenders. It would also establish offenses against first responders as an aggravating factor during sentencing, something Winnipeg's Mayor Scott Gillingham has been pushing for.
So I'm pleased to see the broad range of changes that are going to be coming. I believe it reflects the advocacy that I as a mayor and other mayors have been doing and the calls that we have been making across this nation as mayors for changes to the legislation.
Mayor Scott Gillingham has become a vocal advocate for reform, meeting with lawmakers and starting his own repeat offender bulletin to bring attention to the issue. The teenager hit by a vehicle in Selkirk last week has died. RCMP say the 17-year-old boy died of his injuries yesterday. Mounties previously said he and another teen were walking on Manitoba Avenue on the evening of October 15th when he was hit from behind by a vehicle. He was airlifted to hospital in critical condition. The other pedestrian and the 27-year-old man behind the wheel of the vehicle were uninjured. A warning for motorists traveling Manitoba highways this fall. This is the most dangerous time of the year for wildlife collisions. According to numbers from Manitoba Public Insurance, there were 14,000 wildlife collisions last year. There's been about 7,000 so far this year, and they don't just happen on rural highways. Crashes with wildlife happen within city limits too. Most take place in October and November. MPI says most collisions are with deer, but some involve bears. And if you do hit a bear, you're more likely to get injured.
Typically, especially with deer and bears, they're preparing for winter, right? So they're getting as much food as they can. Leaves are coming off trees, berries are disappearing, so they have to forage a little bit further for food. So, they're traveling more, and if they travel more, their chances of crossing a roadway or encountering a vehicle increase.
MPI spokesperson Tara Seal says drivers need to slow down, especially during dusk and dawn. You should also scan the sides of the roadway for signs of active animals and pay attention to wildlife crossing highway signs. Well, dusk definitely comes earlier this time of year. Colleen Brady, what are you tracking for us tonight?
Well, not an awful lot. There's a high pressure both at the upper and surface levels that pretty much are keeping things on the clear side, at least here in the south. We've had that beautiful sunshine return today. Out in the southwest, what a day. The warmest place so far today in Manitoba is not going to shock you. Melita, Manitoba, 13.4 degrees right now. In Brandon, it's 12. Here in Winnipeg, we're a bit far behind. We got up to 8 today. But again, did I mention the sun has been shining? We haven't seen that in a couple days. That's great. I'll show you how much longer the sun will be shining and how much more the temperatures will be rising in the south coming up. Let's take a look right now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Look at that blue sky. 8 degrees in the sunshine, light winds out of the south-southeast. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 61%. Out in traffic on this Thursday afternoon, a live look out onto, drumroll please, the St. James Bridge. A little busier on northbound than we've seen over the last few days. Conversely, southbound is busy, but not nearly as clogged as it's been. As for collisions, there is one that cleared up about 20-25 minutes ago. That was on the Disraeli Freeway. Some residual traffic was expected to be bogged down a little bit, but it should be cleared by now.
Thanks, Colleen. A Winnipeg man is carving some monster pumpkins. We're talking some massive jack-o'-lanterns, and he's doing it for an important cause. We'll show you some of his work. Plus,
that is not paying attention to the lights that are being activated by a school bus.
She's been driving school buses for a quarter of a century. What she sees Winnipeg drivers do the most, that puts kids at risk. More local news coming up after the break.
Ford reported a profit of $2.4 billion U.S. for its third quarter. That's double what it made in the same quarter last year. The company is seeing strong sales of trucks and SUVs, but a fire at a key aluminum supplier could cost Ford as much as $2 billion. They rely on the metal to build pickup trucks. Ford is revising its earnings outlook. As a result, it's now forecast to be $6 to $6.5 billion, and that's $1 billion less than it was. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is up a fraction to 71.49. West Texas Intermediate crude shot up over $3 to 61.79. Western Canadian Select also gained over $1, moving to 46.10. And the TSX gained 203 points today, moving back up over that 30,000 mark. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross, group health plans for any size business.
It's School Bus Safety Week, and Manitoba Public Insurance is teaming up with the local school division to drive home an important message. This year, MPI and River East Transcona School Division teamed up to remind motorists about the importance of driving carefully around school buses to ensure all students get to and from school safely. One experienced school bus driver, who's now a trainer, says she sees other drivers break the rules every day.
People coming on to you without realizing that a bus can't back up. It comes from them literally not seeing you and pulling out of driveways, people not going through stop signs, running through yellow lights. The range is so wide.
Over the past 4 years, there have been more than 450 school bus collisions in Manitoba, causing 105 injuries. He uses a knife, a hammer, and a crowbar to carve giant pumpkins, and Chris O'Kell is doing it for a good cause. It's called the Pumpkin Promise. For the past 12 years, O'Kell has been doing it to raise money for Cancer Care Manitoba. It all began as a simple Halloween idea to find the biggest pumpkins he could. It became a memorial for O'Kell's mother, Marietta, who died of pancreatic cancer in 2010. Now people flock to O'Kell's house to see the giant jack-o'-lanterns and share their stories.
It just becomes like an airport, basically. Yeah. There's lots of tears, there's lots of stories, and just people are shocked. I still get people to this day saying they're not real until I tell them to stick their hand in it and feel how slimy they are.
Chris O'Kell's Pumpkin Promise has raised more than $100,000. To learn more, visit Cancer Care Manitoba Foundation's website.
Community Connection is brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Born to be a hero, trained to be a plumber.
Overall, it's just a great, safe place for kids to have some trick-or-treat fun.
The Children's Museum is opening its doors for little ghosts and goblins this weekend. Details about this year's Halloween Howl coming up in the spotlight.
It's spooky season, and we're looking for a Halloween house to feature on CTV Your Morning Winnipeg. If you think yours fits the bill, you could win a $500 gift card from St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center and have the chance to show off your Halloween house live on Your Morning Winnipeg on October 31st with a visit from Ainsley McPhail. To enter, head to our contest page at ctvwinnipeg.ca, fill out the form, and submit some pictures.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Prism and Haywire.
Colleen Brady is back for Spotlight, and we begin with Lauren Hill, who's hitting the road for an intimate cross-country tour.
This is very exciting. It all starts right here in Winnipeg. The Grammy-winning artist and Fugees legend kicks off her artist-in-residence tour November 19th at the Burton Cummings Theatre. She'll hit 8 cities, including Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal, her first Canadian show since 2023. Recently, Hill's made surprise appearances with YG Marley, Wyclef Jean, and even Drake. Tickets go on sale Friday at noon. For details, head to misslaurenhill.com.
Well, if you're looking for something fun and not too scary for the kids this Halloween season, the Children's Museum may just be the place for you.
I think so. It's putting on its annual Halloween Howl, and it happens this Saturday. The museum will be open for the evening and features hands-on interactive activities for the entire family. There's a puppet show, crafts, and a dance party. Kids can dress up in their costumes and trick-or-treat in a safe environment.
It's just a good, safe space for kids to enjoy a nice Halloween event. It's a little bit before Halloween, so it kind of saves parents a little bit there too from the running around. But yeah, overall, it's just a great, safe place for kids to have some trick-or-treat fun.
The museum's Brady Kid says when it comes to costumes, no fake weapons or masks, please. Get your tickets at the museum or online at childrensmuseum.com.
All right, now to the most prized piece of Canadian football hardware, the Grey Cup.
Now, here's a unique opportunity, Marilee, to learn about it from the person who knows it best. Jeff McWhinney, the official keeper of the Grey Cup, will give a free presentation at Winnipeg's Government House next month. McWhinney is sharing the history of the iconic trophy and the many behind-the-scenes stories that keep the traditions alive. The event is happening at November 6th at 7 o'clock. Now, it is free, but you do have to call the office of the Lieutenant Governor to register.
Kind of cool.
It does sound great.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Hell's Kitchen heats up your primetime lineup at 7. 911 Nashville follows at 8. Grey's Anatomy is up next at 9. And at 10, catch Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look down into Osborne Village. Very busy for folks heading south along Osborne Street. Much lighter traffic heading north. Sunny in the city right now. Light winds, it's 8 degrees. I'll show you how much warmer it's going to get coming up this weekend in just a couple of minutes.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Playoff season is underway for Winnipeg's high school football. In JV12 semifinal action Wednesday night, Oak Park High School beat out St. Paul's 37-2. Over in St. Vital, Dakota Collegiate shut out Vincent Massey Collegiate 53-0. And if that wasn't enough playoff action for you, Quad A varsity consolation semifinals were also held Wednesday night. Brandon's Crocus Plains Secondary won its final against River East Collegiate 35-28. And Sturgeon Heights Collegiate beat out Kelvin by just a hair, 23-21 that game. Varsity playoffs continue today.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, you have surely noticed it's starting to feel a little colder, especially overnight. One of our top stories was that fire at Bougie Restaurant at Main and York. That broke out about 5:45 this morning. When fire crews were battling that blaze in the 6 o'clock hour, it was 0 in that area. But to just give you a sense of how much temperatures can vary across the Winnipeg region, out at the airport, same hour, it was -5 degrees. That's right. Now, then there's the fog. I mentioned there's ridges of high pressure, both at the upper and surface levels over the province. That helped to keep the sky clear today and the sun shining. But also early this morning, under the surface ridge, we saw freezing fog develop over Brandon. Well, overnight tonight or more into very early tomorrow morning, it's more likely that fog will show up around Dauphin and Swan River in the southwest, and then over into parts of eastern Manitoba. Not expected in Winnipeg, but there is the potential that we could see it, although it's less likely. Having said that, otherwise it will be clear. Temperatures across the province will drop to the freezing mark, if not a little bit below, and that includes southern Manitoba again. Northwestern Ontario, after a lot of precipitation over the last couple of days, it was a much calmer day today. Overnight tonight, it will be clear into Friday morning. You could see a little bit of mixed precipitation pop up in the northwest. Doesn't look like that will be anything of much significance. Another bright sunny day under the influence of those ridges of high pressure, and temperatures back up in double digits it's here in the southeast, just like you enjoyed today out in the southwest. As we get into Friday afternoon, leading into Friday night and the weekend, pretty clear skies, really. Not much to show you there as we get into Saturday morning. Sunshine all across Manitoba and northwestern Ontario. Some clouds move into the northwest later on Saturday afternoon. 0 is our low tonight for Winnipeg, mostly clear. Winds out of the southeast at 10 kilometers an hour. They'll strengthen a little bit before morning, but then they'll be a little gusty tomorrow on the way to that high of 11 degrees. That's well above normal now for this time of year. Mostly sunny skies too. So another day of sunshine, but just wait till I show you the weekend. Saturday especially sunny and 15 degrees, 15 again on Sunday, mostly cloudy. If we're lucky, we'll catch a sunny break here and there. Then there looks like now the timing of the showers coming through Monday, Tuesday is starting to change. There's a chance we could see them on Monday during the day. Better chance they come through at night. Otherwise, cloudy and windy Monday, 13 degrees. Rain and showers likely Tuesday, 9, and then back up to 10 degrees Wednesday under a mix of sun and cloud. To our weather photos we go. This first one is from Maryland. Now, Maryland is in the Brandon area. Now, this photo was taken specifically in the Grand Valley area. In the northern part of the city, lots of fall colors there. And this next photo is from Brad, a very artistic photo, I would say, of the fall colors near Douglas, Manitoba, which is just northwest of Brandon. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Yeah, those great pictures.
Lovely.
Yeah. Trees very pretty this time of year. Canadian music icon Sarah McLachlan was in Winnipeg last night, you might have heard, for a big performance at Canada Life Centre. And we are going to leave you tonight with some of the highlights from that show. Enjoy. And don't go far. We'll be back at 6 with more local news.
Doesn't need